All right, so welcome back. Welcome back to the Formula Sports channel. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. Um, my first video since our disappointing exit, or well, I shouldn't say the exit, or our last game versus Venezuela. Why a game that I didn't do a review for that game for a few reasons. Couldn't find the time to do it, but even if I could find the time to do it, boy, I don't know if me that it up to it, to be honest with you. The most I'll say about that game is that the Reggae Boys they were just out there going through the motions. It was just as simple as that. Them did just out there go through the motions. Everybody was going through the motions. You could really and truly see that it was Hallgrímsson's very last game in charge of the Reggae Boys. So yeah, news broke after the Copa finished. Well, even before the Copa finished, it was kind of going around that this may be Hallgrímsson's last game, and then it was confirmed shortly after the game had ended. Props to Hallgrímsson for stepping away at this point in time. He would have outlined the reasons why it was good to step aside now, and I think that was quite admirable of him to well, did he really even have a choice though? To be did he even have a choice? Did he even have a choice? That's another way to look at it. Did he even have a choice? Sometimes they say these things and it's just PR, basically just PR. But yeah, man, so long to Hallgrímsson. Had the privilege of meeting him. A decent man. There were things he did well and things that he got right. I think he got a lot of things off the pitch. He got those things right, got those things correct. However, on the pitch, I think there were quite a number of times when what was taking place on the pitch left a lot to be desired. Off the pitch as well, too, he lost a few stripes with the whole Leon Bailey issue and his handling of it, in my humble opinion. But for the most part, most of the things off the pitch, he got right. But yeah, man, big respect to Hallgrímsson. So long, take care, and wishing the gaffer all the best in whatever he does next, whatever his next move is. One last thing on Hallgrímsson. I think that Hallgrímsson was not a great manager. I don't think he was a bad manager either. I think that he was good enough to get us to Qatar, but not good enough, not Qatar rather, to get us to the 2026 World Cup in the US, in North America, Mexico, and Canada. But I don't think he was good enough to fully maximize the full potential of the Reggae Boys. Right? And I also think that he was a bit stubborn in his style of play. I remember when he first came, he said one of the mistakes he made from his last job was that he was trying to force his way on on that club, basically, and not adapt to what is it that they would have wanted. Not quoting him verbatim or what they would have liked. I think his stubbornness to a certain extent also played a role in his stint with the Reggae Boys not working out. You see the banner at the end of your screen. We have to carefully consider the style of play of our next manager. It's something we have to carefully consider and carefully think about, ladies and gentlemen. It's a massive decision. It's a massive upcoming decision that the JFF has to make, and they frankly speaking have to get it right. I mean, I'm sure we all want to go to the next World Cup, right? I'm sure of that. Is there anyone that really does not want to go to the next World Cup? It's a World Cup that if we don't make it to this one, will we ever make it to another World Cup? If we can't make it to this one, you get what I say? And it's in this side of the hemisphere as well, in our confederation. It would be really nice if we could get there. And to be honest with you, I think it's a layup. But we can't take that for granted. We have to get the coach who is going to be leading us to the next World Cup. It's a very important decision that has to be made. And we have to get it right. We have to carefully consider the next manager of the Jamaica Reggae Boyz. I think that the JFF needs to put on a proper recruitment drive for the next manager of the Reggae Boyz. And not this, it often feels like whenever we're scouting a national head team coach, especially for the Reggae Boyz, like it's a lazy attempt at recruiting and bringing in somebody. Is always, either people applying or people within the Jamaican footballing sphere, the Jamaican footballing fraternity, that sort of thing. It's not a recruitment drive that spreads far and goes wide, if you understand the point that I'm making. And I think this time around it has to be different, simply because of the magnitude of the moment. We're at a crossroads and we have to get it right. We have to get it right. We got it wrong with Hallgrímsson. I understand from a bang for buck perspective, they were trying to get to make they thought Hallgrímsson was a decent option, but that turned out not to be the case. One of the things that we seriously have to consider with the new manager is the style of play that he plays. Right? We have to consider that. We have to do proper scouting of how the next manager plays, and not just some lazy Google search of his accomplishments and his resume and his record, and if he's experienced enough and that sort of a foolishness. One of the things that I think knocked us with Hallgrímsson was we looked at the qualification of Iceland to the last World Cup and said, oh, little team, make it to World Cup, it's a big deal. However, the fact of the matter is, what was the style of play that Hallgrímsson had to utilize to get Iceland to that World Cup? They were one of the weakest teams in the UEFA Confederation. So obviously, the style of play would be a certain way. You get what I'm saying? That does not necessarily fit what we're about or what we're trying to do here in Jamaica. For starters, on the flip side, in this World Cup qualification campaign, we would be one of the strongest teams in our confederation. So we have to get a manager that has the experience of playing on the front foot, and Hallgrímsson did not have that. We have to get a manager who has that experience, who has that technical and tactical expertise / know-how / knowledge, however you want to put it, of playing on the front foot, and of playing a more sophisticated, a more structured style of play and the system. We have to get a manager that is versed in a more sophisticated and structured attacking structure. We have to, because we are going to, in order to maximize the full potential of the Reggae Boyz, we're going to have to play on the front foot, simply because we're going to be one of the top teams, if not the best team left in Concacaf World Cup qualifying. The three big guns have already qualified. So we have to do proper scouting. We have to do proper scouting, and we have to get that right. We have to get that right. The lazy recruitment drive foolishness, it can't work. Is money an excuse this time around? I mean, the JFF, them a brag about how the Adidas money, a big food and yam. Put the Adidas money to good use and get a proper manager. I mean, I ask, for sign Pep Guardiola. I'm not asking you guys to sign Pep Guardiola, but sign a decent manager who has experience at a credible level and plays a certain type of football. It is our biggest weakness as Jamaica. It is our biggest weakness, our attacking structure, how the team plays in the attacking moments of the game. Going forward, progressing the ball throughout the respective thirds, throughout the respective phases of possession. You know, the first phase, the build up, the second phase, the progressive phase, that sort of a thing. We have to get a manager that's experienced in implementing a sophisticated and structured, well-structured attacking structure. It's our biggest weakness, and it's crazy because we're going to be arguably the top team in Concacaf World Cup qualification. Again, so long to Hallgrímsson. Sad, sad that it didn't work out. Sad that it didn't work out. I think that he was judged a little bit too harshly on the Copa. To be fair, all the teams that we came up against were just significantly better than us. That is a fact. Some people don't seem to want to acknowledge that, or even don't even understand that. But to be fair, the way we played, even against inferior teams, more often than not, inferior teams and teams that were on our level, similar levels to us, more often than not left a bit to be desired. So, such is life, such is life. Anyways, hopefully the JFF can get it right going forward. Big upcoming decision to make. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Knock up the likes button, subscribe and share. Free and easy ways to support the Formula Sports channel. Take care, guys. Stay safe, and until next time.